building relationships and community. If I was the indoor person, I wouldn't have built. I have a lot of people in Enugu, and I just schooled here 5 years and left. And I can say that I know some people more than some of you that was born and raised here. I can say that because some of you think, see, being an introvert is not such a good thing. No. You can be an introvert, but you will still find a way to connect with people. Coming here alone means you want to connect as well. So we're going to start with, should we start with the lady of it? Okay. So we'll give you both 10 minutes to talk about building relationship and community. And then I will ask maybe 2 or 3 of my questions, and you guys, let me be generous, I'll give 5 people to ask. Are we ready? Oh yeah, let's start.
So I love the topic, mostly because this is something I live for. It's a concept I'm used to daily, building relationship and people and community. The truth is that individually, people, us, we are always connected, but we're never connected. Have you ever noticed that?
Did you hear that?
We are always going to connect. How many social media apps do we have? TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, which other one? Snapchat, Trends, and I'm sure if I ask how many of us are in all of this, most of us have all the social media apps. And then we are always after who is following us, how many followers am I getting, how many likes. We are always looking after people that are retweeting our posts, but are we retweeting the love basically? So you see that at the end of the day, we are always about who are we connecting with, but at the end of the day, we are not connected, right? So relationship and community is at the base of it. I'm going to share a mini story. How many of us heard about our fashion festival? Less than 12 hours to the event, we got shut down. We couldn't run our events. I mean, it was terrible. We couldn't access somewhere that we already paid for. And in the middle of that, I mean 12 hours, in the middle of that, I told myself, it's either we cancel, and you know what cancel means? Sponsors, you're going to pay them back and you're going to pay for damages. Where are they see the money? And vendors, how many of us have dealt with vendors? They will drag you through your week. They will drag you. So I was like, and I don't want to have a reputation of a cancelled event. That was like the 6th edition. Then I'm getting calls, people are asking, what did you do? What did you not do? How are you going to do this? So I say, let's go on, let's do this. And then I told myself, what comes to what? We cancel, I will jabber, I will disappear, nobody will see me. Right? I remember we were in a hotel, and then they got to go Okura, Nanny Boy, Chilaka, every other person, after TV, like they were getting midnight. And then it dawned on me that I've invested so much in it, but now that I can say that, before I used to feel like I should be polite and humble about it. No, I shouldn't be. So I used to be like, I've given so much, but at that point, I looked around at 2 a.m. in the morning, in the middle of our square, and I turned around and see students from UNEC, IMT, that have not left. They've not slept since morning. I looked at men of industry, owners of the cash, Gustavo, and these guys were there. I didn't understand that at first. First thing in the morning, when we got the new location IMT, we rushed over there. And that's why I thought Chidimma or one of my friends that taught me and said, look around. Then I looked around. I didn't know where hundreds of people. I mean, I saw men. When I mean men, they were literally, if you know how IMT is, it's almost like a region, there's nothing there. So we are uprooting things from the ground. So we are carrying out race. I didn't tell them, I didn't call anyone. My phone wasn't even going at that. I don't think one of the volunteers with my phone. And then I stood in the middle of it and I said, this is community. Community doesn't have to be big or huge, but they have to be your people. They have to be the people you've nurtured over time. They have to be people you've also given to. The truth is that we are always looking at my friend is not supporting, this person is not doing that. True, most times people are like that, but the truth is that we need to stop trying to learn followership and start building people, our people. People that we know that even when it's good or bad, you know that you can turn back and you will see them. And the truth is that they don't have to be the high mighty ones. They can also be the students in school. And I can't remember the last time I finished was years ago. But imagine turning at 2 a.m. and I'm seeing students in IMT, ASUS, UNED. That is community. So that's what I'm going to stop here for.
Yeah, and I want to say something. Please, Enugu people, you should clap for yourself. I'll say this. When I attended Naza's event last year, that was when I made up my mind that I would do an event in Enugu. You people are strong, and you people love for real. Your love is pure. It's undiluted. They can't buy it with money. They can't buy it with money. Thank you so much, Njoku. All right, let's hear you out.
Okay, talking about relationship and community building, they're both closely connected. They can't live without each other. You cannot build a community if there's no relationship. So, to build a relationship, you need to have empathy, you have to have love, you have to have connection. I'll give a simple example. I'll go back to our friend who is the musician. The normal narrative is nobody helped me. Most people who make this statement, if you go back to them and ask, who have you helped? You have nothing to say. So about 2 weeks ago, I was with a top government official, I won't mention his name, and someone walks into his house. This was the third time I was meeting this person, but we had a big business to do together. And the person greeted me. I asked the person, do you know this person? The guy said, yeah. And it took almost 10 minutes trying to tell this person about me. So I believe if you give, you will receive. So for a lot of us, we don't make effort to give. We only expect it. We're entitled to people. It's my uncle, it's my auntie, it's my friend, he should do this. The question is, like Naza was saying about her event, she attends events for people. That's why people turned up. I came out, I sat there, I didn't do anything, but I knew that my presence would keep some people who are there that would have left. So, these two ladies here are my friends. I don't know if you can imagine the age gap between me and them. You can see my white beards. My daughter is almost in final year in university. I have friends who are 20 years older than me as well. So what point am I making? As you manage downwards, you also manage upwards. So you don't just say, my uncles are not doing this for me. The ones that are under you, what do you do for them? If you're working in a company and you have a boss, you do everything to impress your boss, you carry his bag. Now what of the people who are under you? The security man, do you even say good morning to him when you pass? 10 naira means so much to the security man. It might not mean a lot to you. I always tell people that the richer you are, the more difficult it is for you to be happy. True.
Whoa.
Because
do we still want to be rich?
Because we sit down and we envy the rich, not realizing that we have better opportunity to live a better life than the rich. I'll tell you how. If I give a security man standing at the gate there 10,000 naira, you don't know what difference it will make in his house today. Those people I call them magicians, and I don't know how they survive with the amount of monies they get. Now, if I get 10,000 naira, yes, some money, but I'll just throw it into my pocket, and probably if I get it to my car, I'll forget that it's there. So it doesn't change my life a lot, making my life more difficult to change than the life of that security man. So whatever you can do, no matter how small you think it is, it's a lot. There's someone that needs it. And now, to the most important part, for you to be able to add value, for you to be able to connect to another human being, you must be authentic. What does this mean? You must know yourself. You must be truthful to yourself about who you are. We're not all, or not even any two people that are the same. Everybody has a unique nature with which he was blessed and endowed with. You have to find value for what you bring to the table and know where and how to apply it. Nobody is useless, trust me.
Woo! Nobody is useless.
Yes. People are sitting here as speakers because they are listeners. Yeah. If you guys were not here, there would be nobody to speak to. I would have left. So you're as valuable as myself. The organizers are only of value because there are people attending. So you must find value for yourself, find value for everybody around you. I heard someone talk about mentorship a while ago. You know, when you want to buy rice, you know where to go. When you want to buy food, you know where to go. You want to buy medication, you know where to go. Now, what does this mean? There's something I will have to come to Chidimma for. There's another one I'll have to go to Emeka for. There's something else I have to go for, to one of you for. What does that mean? It means you don't need only one mentor. One of the most paid people in the world are consultants. And what do they give? Just advice. So, if you know someone who is good level, and you have a level issue, you go to their level. Don't make one person your mentor. Nobody knows everything. And choose a mentor from, or choose a mentor of someone in an area he or she has excelled consistently. Money does not define the value of any human being. We can't all be rich.
You agree?
So you must find value in the space you occupy. The best place to occupy in this life is the middle place, I'll tell you that. So there's an attack from the top, it doesn't get you. It's from down, it doesn't get you. So please, to be able to build relationship and a community, everybody's value must be appreciated.
All right.
And the only way you get your own appreciation is by doing what? Appreciating your own person.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go with my own question before you guys. From here on, we are going fast. How do you build genuine relationship in an increasingly transactional world? We all know that.
Well, I'll pick this topic in the context of marriage and dating. A lot of people today, when they want to choose a husband, I'll talk to the ladies. The first thing they're looking for is he financially viable? Does he have money? In fact, I was
money or the important? We're not wrong.
They want a man who has money. It's okay to have a man who has money. But I tell you for free, if money becomes the primary thing you're looking at, it's going to blindfold you to other things that build the fabric and the core of a relationship. And if you lose those things, if you understand what I'm talking about, come to the court on Monday or Tuesday. See the number of divorce cases going on there. A lot of them, the men are wealthy, and still the women live. Bill Gates does not live with his wife. Dangote doesn't have a wife and lives with today. So money is not a prerequisite for marriage to work. It's a necessity to solve human needs, but not a prerequisite for marriage to work. Going by that context, I'm sure it addresses very well how being transactional can become a problem for you. Everything in life has its requirements. I remember when secondary school we used to do agric, when they talk about subsistence agriculture, they talk about the advantages, disadvantages, and the requirements. So everything in life, there's no one thing you can freestyle and succeed. Whenever you go on freestyle, you're going by luck and by chance. And the chances of your failing should surpass you on freestyle.
So please, you guys should listen to him because I've not said this, but he's my relationship coach. I report my boyfriend to give me lots. All right.
Before you go,
don't cast me. No.
Based on that, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of girls, when you speak to them about choosing a partner, like I said, the first thing they mention is about money. But this lady here, yes, I'm going to talk about you. When I spoke to her once about her relationship progress, because I always ask what's going on in your life to my young friends, it's one of the list of things she's looking out for. And I can tell you the reason. because she's working hard for herself. She's making an effort to succeed.
For me now.
She is originally an artist. That's how I know her. I know her as Chidimma.
Yeah.
She sings. I put her on stage a couple of times. And she's a very good artist. Then the next time I see her after several years, she's doing something else. When she told me what she was doing, I found time in Lagos to leave my busy schedule to go and see her business and gave a little free consult that I could give to her. So I will use her as an example for other ladies. You want a convenient and comfortable union or marriage or relationship, make sure you bring something to the table. You don't only go there to take, else you have no respect.
You people did not put this, you did not record this was on post-it. You did not do that.
It's not really funny how the guys are literally screaming because they're saying girls should bring something to the table. I mean, for months look at before time, before now, men were meant to be provided. And I think it's also the concept that made the young men of now to be a little bit more dependent on the women. And it's really crazy. Because you see a man that should also strive for themselves. The first thing they want to know is what you're doing, what you pay your money is coming from, what properties you have, what the things you need to do.
But
and if you check the guy, he doesn't have as much as you.
I want to ask, is it
Nobody wants to be a provider anymore. No man wants to be. In the bad days now, they go to the farm, to the hut, the hut, you get to
Chegodi, Jasmine.
when you come back,
Naza.
you won't go to the market.
Chegodi, I want to ask. And I believe I'm asking for all the sisterhood. Is it a red flag when a man asks you, what do you do? Before your name said, what do you do?
Okay, let me, you see.
The issue is not that they're asking what do you do. It's the fact that they want to know every little details of that.
Oh, I'm telling you that I'm going to give this story. When I went to, the whole is small, so it echoes. When I went to Lagos initially, I know they do nothing. I just, copper, and I use copper. So I went out with my friends, and then there were guys on the table. Before they asked for my name, they first said, "Hi, hello, what do you do?" I swear to God, I didn't know what to say. I was ashamed. I don't know what to say.
Let me tell you what. Okay, you can, when you keep pushing any human being, you get to a point where he hits the wall, and there's only one thing he's gonna do: defend himself, even if he's a 1-year-old. You see, the men in our culture are the providers, and naturally are hunters. So when someone provides for you, emotionally, physically, financially, you expect him to have an authority over you, just like your parents. So if somebody provides, if somebody provides everything, he's providing for emotions to make sure you're happy, he's providing for your needs, providing for the kids, providing the house, the cars, everything, and you want to share powers with that person, it's absolutely not possible.
It's not power. Hey, God.
Hold on, let me come into it. So it's a natural thing. So,
that they fall my hand.
So, hold on. Let me exhaust this. You see, let me exhaust it. So, as a woman, and I tell you what, the men are learning. The men are being victimized. The men are being taken advantage of. They provide everything.
Please, let's calm down so we'll listen.
They have to share the power. No, it doesn't work that way. Go on, if you want to pick, for example, people will reference the Bible for a lot of things, but they will forget that at the beginning, God created the woman for a purpose. Let me land. For a purpose, He said that He created man and found out he was lonely and needed a helper and a companion. And that's the purpose of getting a woman in the system. So as a woman, do you play those roles that you were created for?
No, this is so biased. This is so biased.
So if I get you like Mr. Chilaka, right? From the concept of where we are going to, first I It's understandable that if a man provides all this, you are essentially, almost meant to submit to a certain pattern. But the challenge is this, and is where I'm going to the others, is in a situation whereby the man doesn't keep to that original standard of it. Now I'll tell you that an average home that you see up now is that a lady goes to work, works the same time frame that the man does. 8 to 6 or 9 to 5. Comes home even before or after the man, and then she is still expected to run through the basic things that are expected of a woman. Now, what it means is the lady or the woman is the provider, is a nurturer, is a mother, is a caregiver, is all that. Is still only holding on to that provider. Now, what we are saying is to be very honest with you, right? It's the same way when I talk to my fellow ladies, and most of us, it has programmed us to be. That's why you see a lot of men that talk about I'm independent, I'm an independent woman. I fought that because I feel like independence is not a virtue, right? I would never agree to that. That's why I don't use it because it's not a virtue. But it's because of the trauma, it's because of the understanding and the high expectation that's been placed on the female child that you have to release. All of my answers is, if you are going to go into this union, in this expectation that you provide and submit, in an instance where I also want to earn, because I've gone to school, my parents provided for me, I went through that, I also want to provide for the family. There should be a standard where in the home we are both parents. We are both taking care of that. If you come home before me, take care of food. If you come home before me, take care of the children. Because the truth is that I hate it when I hear men say, oh, I am babysitting the children because my wife is up. And then I look cute.
I want to say something.
They are your children. So we need to have this discussion and make sure that it is fair. Not because a family send their daughter to you, we need to be fair to it. Yes, ladies, we should also get to the point where, see, the truth is that every man's respect will still end up to be him.
Yes.
No matter how much money
I want to say something. I want to say something. So, first of all, day before yesterday, Jennifer, please wave. Yes, my volunteer was with me all through. We were with the Kulora all through till from there we went into the night to get some stuff. And then I was like, oh my God, Jennifer, sorry, I forgot that you are married. Oh, hey, you follow me, Waka. What about your husband? Who will cook for him? He said, oh, my husband, he has gotten home before me. He's cooking already. Should I shock you guys? Hold on, he's a Yoruba guy.
Okay, ladies, we hear you loud and clear. Okay, I'll put some definition on ground, okay? Yeah.
It's one house.
One house, please.
Okay. MC, how many minutes do we have? Which we've not started. How many minutes do we have? They are saying we need time. Should we give them time? Should we give them time?
Okay, there are two kinds of husband. I'm sure, most ladies here would like to have a Dangote as a husband. Someone that will, wouldn't you? You don't want a Dangote.
Okay.
Good. Some people want a Dangote as a husband. Why some people want our friend who was cooking for the wife yesterday as a husband? So you see, everybody, when it comes to relationship, please, can we listen?
Yes.
When it comes to relationship, you must be clear and intentional on what you go for. And you also have to understand yourself. There are guys who are willing and able to do what our noble friend did by supporting the wife. There are also guys who who can't boil water, or they can buy you 1,000 human head. So you now have to choose when you're making the choice of a husband, because it's for yourself. You're choosing a companion for yourself, and you're choosing a father for your children. So there are numerous skills that a man requires to be a good father and a good husband. Now you check, which ones do you have that you need, and the ones that you don't have. When you don't have, you need someone who complements you. So if both of you are skilled in the same direction, most likely there's going to be a gap. I have kids who are teenagers, 3 teenagers in my house. My wife takes pride in cooking for me. She's a surgeon. She comes home, she's busy, she does 3-4 surgeries a day, she still cooks. Now we don't fight about it.
Area is quiet.
My wife doesn't pay school fees. I make sure she doesn't pay school fees. I don't know how much her salary is. I don't want to know, because she has a family.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's go to the next question, sir.
Hold on, I want to finish something. She's so let me cap on this. Let me cap. You want to hear?
You know what? This is a master
Want to vote?
class.
The truth is that, of course, because of the time.
Because of the time. Okay, you know what I will do? You know what I will do? Please. Okay, as we'll give you 2 minutes to close, but hold on. This is his favorite topic. Relationship, Onyia like this. Any sport, you say, Chidimma, what's up? Apple my car. So please, we'll give him maybe after you meet him. Now his favorite topic, but we have questions.
So, what I was saying, so when you're choosing your partner, first of all, before you say you're right for marriage, be you male or female, you must have understood yourself. You must understand yourself. You're not going to marry a man because Naza says she's a nice man. No. There's no nice person. Everybody's fitted to another person. I tried to marry 3 times before I met my wife.
Wow.
Yes. I cancelled 2 close to wedding days because I'm objective and I'm decisive, and I know that I was married for myself, not for my dad or my mom. My dad thought I was crazy when I cancelled, but I knew I wasn't crazy, and I was confident enough to stand on my feet and say no. So when you choose a husband, make sure you choose a man who's fitted to you. I'm glad to hear about that lady and her husband. That means they understand themselves. The same way I am with my wife. I've never asked her how much she earns. And it doesn't mean that the next man should not know what the wife earns. Because I know my wife is financially responsible. I don't bother. She doesn't ask me either. But we're paying our bills and everybody's happy. So make sure when you choose your partner, because that's the foundation. You have the right partner, every right thing fits.
Give a round of applause.
It's not pastors, it's not 50-50, that we start 30-30, 100.
I'm enjoying this. Are you guys enjoying it? Yes. So the next question, I think we should go to you. Okay. What are the key ingredients for nurturing a long-lasting relationship or network? Like our own life, this will long divorce. Too long. What are the key ingredients?
Tolerance. The truth is that it will get to a point where you decide what matters most. I was thinking about something I said, that something happened recently and I had to set my relationship before me, and I said, do I want this friendship or do I want to be relaxed in the friendship? Most times we are quick to think about ourselves, our feelings, and where we are coming from, that we forget the next person. I don't know, there's some people that I meet that they are burning the bridges every day. They don't want, I can't relate that. My sign is I'm a Cancer, I'm a Leo. We don't do that. If she's not going to do this, that is it. And then that's it, the friendship ends. You have to get to the point where you understand that you and the next person are different characters, different background. You've gone through different things in life. So of course your opinions are going to differ. At that point, the first thing should be what matters, what value is this relationship coming to me? If I take the relationship Chidimma and I have, I'm sure I now won't be friends.
You annoy me sometimes.
And then, before we even got to this point, here today, we've gone through our own phases. We got to a point I told Chilaka, Chidimma is no longer my friend, I'm not going to talk to Chidimma again. Right? But see us here talking, because we've gone through 10 years of friendship that no matter what emotions will say, Chidimma will not be my friend. In fact, the next person I will probably will be my elder sister. So I will be like, did you say you're not going to Chidimma? Then Sandra will call and say, Chidimma, what did you say? Now, the thing is that in every relationship and commitment, you need to decide first of all, what are you willing to take? What are you not willing to take? So that's tolerance. The next thing is you need to also be able to understand that people are different. We need to understand. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the economy. I don't know if it's Nigeria. I don't know if it's something in the weather. We are quick to vex. We are quick to say I know the truth. Even in relationships.
Even you know, sometimes she will say she wants to, she will not tell you, she will just be quiet. You will not be wondering, did I annoy her?
Exactly.
Did I do something?
You see?
Ask yourself. Oh my God.
I'm able to say this because I understand that about my person, and that is why I will never be a crowd person. I will always be my people's person. My people know me, and I know my people. They understand that there are sometimes Naza just wants to be. I'm not confrontational. You can do whatever you want to do. I will never come to you and say, sometimes it's not good. I'm just saying, before you go into a relationship, commitment, building community, first of all, understand yourself. Then understand the next person beside you. Because that's the only way you will do. If you don't get your temperament, you might be discussing with another person and then you guys get to each other and then fire blows and all that. The third part I'm going to mention is, I just want to build up community because it's everything. We can't do this life alone. Remember I mentioned that independence is not the virtue. But the truth is that we are not meant, we are not built, we are not created to be alone. We are built for community. We are built for each other. In fact, when you wake up, some people they say they wake up in the morning, you're not talking to your neighbors, in classrooms, you're not dealing with your lecturers, in church, you are the one that they know that doesn't relate in the department. There's always something about you because you feel you want to be, but no one is an island. So if you're going to nurture a community that will help you at the end of the day, you need to be able to get to the point where you say, people will mess up, people will hurt you, people will not go according to the plan you ordained, but what am I willing to let go? What am I willing to hold back? And what am I willing to tolerate?
And it's going to be sacrifice. So many people don't have to, they don't want to give sacrifice in their relationships. I remember last 2 years, when I had my podcast, my live podcast, Naza was one of my speakers. And I told Naza that, see, I've spent so much and you're one of my speakers. She said, don't worry, I'll use my hand and book my flight ticket. She was my guest speaker, I did not pay her, yet she booked her flight ticket to and fro for me. And during our own event, I was supposed to be one of her speakers, and she told me some of the sponsors pulled out, though. I don't know how it is. And then I was like, don't worry, I'll book my flight ticket. I booked my flight ticket to and fro. I even booked hotel. And then when I came and met plenty things.
So you became the MC.
I became the MC. I became everything. And that is what we call sacrifice. And you know why some relationships last? When you remember the sacrifice this person has done for you, just because of that sacrifice, you will stay. Some of us want to collect. We don't want to give. So we are rounding up. If you have questions, stand up while you round up.
Okay, yeah.
Stand up.
These two ladies you're looking at here, they are very close friends. You need to see them fighting. You need to be with them for some time. You cannot have an hour without them going through an argument. You know, so sometimes I ask myself, how do you ladies do it? Well, you see, it will take me back to what I said about marriage. You know, it's a dedication. It's something you choose to do. And you have to throw entitlement behind you. There's something I'm going to teach today. It's called emotional basket. For every relationship you have, you must have an emotional basket. What does that mean? This is where you do something for the other person that will stay in their memory, so that the day you need them to do something for you, they will remember that. Someone said something here about someone annoying you, and then you forget. Then, how can you forget? But let me tell you what. a bad experience or a bad deed to you is not a bad thing. It's an opportunity to learn. It's called a learning curve. So when something or someone criticizes you, says something, let's say a friend says something wrong or bad about you, don't get angry. It gives you two opportunities. One is, he's either correct or wrong. If he's correct, that means he has given you an opportunity to know more about yourself and learn about yourself. If he's not, that means he's not a pleasant person. You must take that feedback back. It doesn't mean he becomes your enemy, but it means when he speaks tomorrow, you do not take it to heart, knowing that he's being unnecessarily, or rather, destructively critical. There's what you call constructive criticism, and you have the destructive one. So you know who to take feedback from, because you can overweigh yourself emotionally by listening to the wrong people, or rather taking what they say to heart. So the friends I have, I can never go to them for advice. But if they speak, I listen. But I know what to take home.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. The famous ladies and gentlemen. On our papa. Okay, I love when the whole argument started. It makes that we attentive. Okay, those asking the questions, please come forward. Very quickly, straight to the point. Njoku, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And it might end up being about marriage and relationship.
Just ask the questions very quickly. Just 30 seconds in.
I think the way we do it, we will not forget. Immediately you ask the question, point who you want to answer.
Exactly. Do you understand that? Very.
You answer everybody.
Good afternoon. My question was,
Okay.
I want when you're talking about the union, where the man is working, the woman is working, they happen to come back at the same time when and the woman is tired and exhausted. She says no, I won't go and take care of the children or whatever. I want to ask, what is a situation whereby the bills in the house being picked by the man, and the woman is usually working, becomes a selfish type. All the money she makes goes to herself. So, what do you see about this kind of relationship?
Okay, so I think the key word here is the woman is a selfish person, right? Because we can't even have that conversation except if one person is already failing by being selfish. I mean, I will use my family. My parents are late, but this is what I observed when they were here. My dad did everything. In fact, my dad would go to Chilaka with his car, buy things from Chilaka, come to Enugu, drop. But there are things my mom will sort out without letting my dad know. You know, there are little things she will take care of, not letting her. Now, back to what I said, right? Where I made that indication is in a situation whereby both parties went out and one of the partners, one of the spouse came back earlier than the rest. You shouldn't be expecting the next person to come back and meet you in that state. Now, coming back to it, I think one thing that people lose out in relationship is that we don't communicate, we don't have conversations anymore. You should be able to sit the selfish woman down and discuss the areas that you feel is not being handled. I feel like anyone that is understanding and is in a very communal relationship should be able to understand when the husband is saying, these bills are too much, help me here, because you work also. The same way a lady will say, these chores are getting too much on me, help me here. So it's about understanding.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, please go on.
Thank you very much. My name is Ibeh. My question was
Mr. Chilaka.
what is the role in the relationship?
Wow.
Am I?
The role of community in the relationship, for example, and the share.
You didn't get that
The
question.
role of a community in a relationship, for example, social support and shared experience. Do you understand this?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me respond to you quickly. Okay. There's we're social animals. No human being can survive in isolation. That's why going to cell is not interesting. So if you want to succeed as a human being, you must build a community around you. Why? Because of situations like this. When there's a challenge, people around you has everything to do with it. Your wife can do something to you wrong, and you call me as your friend to meet you up somewhere to talk about it. And the advice I will give you is forget that useless woman. Make I give you one number, the way you call. You understand what I mean? I can also, if I'm a more positive-minded friend, I will even create a false scenario where I went through the same kind of experience, and it's a positive response that I did. So when you have that kind of connection, you have the right community around you, it's very supportive when you want to make choices. But if you have negative and the wrong kind of people surrounding you all the time, you're exposed to making wrong choices. So that is the role of the community. Your community is the people, immediate people around you. So if you want to be successful in keeping relationship as a human being, you must also have the right community around you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Let's take the lady.
Please let me speak to my speakers, please. If they ask, as short as possible. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. My question is kind of now, I think if we want to discuss what a woman is bringing to the table, the content should be well digested, because as a woman, leaving my father's name to obey your name is one thing I brought to the table. Being pregnant for you, for the number of children,
And your body changing.
and my body changes. Like for instance, if I put my tummy around you, see the straight man or barefoot child, I brought it to the table. Cooking the food and then cooking the food for the children, I brought it to the table. Cleaning the house and making sure I service you at all time, I brought it to the table. So please, I would advise, if bringing something to the table should be discussed in an open place, the content should be well defined, so that they will stand the balance.
Okay.
If you come to ask question, you get your advice.
It's opinion. Mr. Chilaka, do you have anything to say?
Yes.
Very quickly, please.
Okay, madam, first of all, if you are, I'll say it's about unions. If you're married to the right person, someone you love, trust me, you'll be counting who did what. You'll be looking for opportunity to do something. So make sure from the onset that you have the right partner.
Thank you very much. Can we listen, please? Around the house. Somebody is trying to ask a question, please. Let's listen.
How do we create an inclusive community where people will feel seen, valued, and self-esteem, especially those from marginalized backgrounds? Sorry, you have to take it. Okay, I said, how do we create inclusive community where people will feel seen, valued, safe, especially those from marginalized backgrounds? Why are you asking?
Okay,
Somebody will ask you a question.
let me start with this. The smallest unit of a community or society is the family. So now, as a father or as a mother, note that whatever you do, however you act, is first of all going to rub off on your children, and not just your children, but their classmates as well. Like, I and my wife, we don't allow my kids to attend birthday to every family that invites them. I need to understand the background of the people they're going to be with. So, if you as a person are authentic, you know what your ills are, you know what your shortcomings are, and you're willing to give back to the society, not being entitled all the time. The greatest problem we have is entitlement. But when you give, naturally, the person you're giving to will want to give back to you. I'm not saying there are no exceptions to these rules, but when you make a rule, you don't look at the exceptions, you look at the norm.
Are you good? Okay, thank you very much. Very quickly.
My question is
What's our relationship?
If you can, I think she can. Okay, so do you think women who are broke have the option of choice when it comes to choosing what they
Can we understand what the wisdom is? In an iron broke, in an iron woman, in a little place. Do the dance, Please, let's listen and understand the question, okay? Please.
The women who are broke have the option of choice when it comes to choosing what they can and can't do in their home, especially if they are married to a rich or authoritative man.
Producer, they will help them to develop scripts. If their husband is a treasurer, they will help with ideas. Their husband is an entrepreneur, they will help with everything. Do you know those things are tangible assets? If she ran with those ideas, she would be that rich man that you are saying she got married to. Do you hear me? So what I'm trying to say is that I hate it when people say broke because you don't have cash. And that's why you see so many women.
They are broke women. They are broke women.
Okay. Hold on.
They exist.
You will say the part two, I say the part one. Hold on. Why is it that when some women, why is it that when some women get divorced, they get rich so fast?
You see, we're going back to transactional.
Okay, listen. Let's get this, okay? Let's get this.
Okay. Let me support here, right? Let's go back to what you said. First, everyone, both gender, male or female, you have a choice, whether you are broke or not. Before you go into a relationship, the money you bring to the table, your asset and all that does not. What matters is the value both of you are deciding on. Now, remember, I'm saying both male or female. Now, when you come into a relationship, right, this is all about understanding of your partner. If your partner is about in the physical money, that takes us back to what the lady said when she said there are other things she's bringing to the table that might not be money. Yes, she's not working. Yes, she doesn't have that funds, but she is bringing her health. You know, there's some women that once they get pregnant, they are at risk of their lives. So we can't really equate this thing based on you are broke, I have money, because the other partner can say, oh, I'm giving you love, I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you my health, I'm giving you this. So at the end of the day, it goes back to what Mr. Chilaka said when he was ending up that route, that you should have an understanding with who you're getting married to. It's not a 50-50. It's not a broke and rich. It's not a married or not. It's about what you have.
It's not
you know that you want to oppress somebody. If you become a dogo, God is watching you. God is watching you.
See, for
As
long as you're making it transactional, there's going to be a problem.
Yes.
I'll say something. Once again, if you love someone, if you genuinely care about someone, you will not calculate what you give. So for as long as you're calculating, you're there for a reason, and that is wrong. So you're going to have problems.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, people. Okay, let's take you. Okay, let's hear your place. Let's hear that. Thank you.
You are.
He will repeat it. He will bring our life to that. Thank you! I don't know. I have to, if you're a man, and then
an opinion. This is the question. So listen.
Please, I was stipulating I would be here by 3, but the way they go, I was thinking of.
So she wants to talk about friendship. She's asking a question based on friendship.
Okay, no, it's like I'm trying to do a brand.
Okay.
I have a client. And at times when I go to meet rich men, let me just say men that are also very good parents. But when you go to meet people that are higher, they will look down on you. Like you're talking trash. Do you understand? Like I'm talking from my own experience. They don't want to hear you out. You something very reasonable to impact in society. Don't look down on you because you don't have money. So please don't and how do I start?
Thank you. This is a beautiful question.
Hold on. So you're asking based on business, right?
Yes. Friendship, business.
Okay, now this is the question, the one she asked. She has a brand, and whenever she has a flyer, whenever she takes her brand or conversations about her brand to a rich man, somebody that is well, somebody that has the money, the person thinks or sees her as talking trash. I mean,
Like now, I have this thing of bringing kids up. I'm starting. Like I do go to schools and pay school fees when I go. Talking of this particular thing, trying to help people.
Sorry, let me say something. You are saying 2 different things. You are talking about your brand and your business, and now you are talking about charity.
That's what our brand is about.
Okay, your brand is about charity. That's the brand. Because before I am at all, I know where you're going to see. Not everyone is called for charity. Do you understand? You see all those rich men you're going to meet, they might not have interest in charity. What are you meeting them for?
Okay, see, I think I get the area you are coming to, and it's a straightforward thing. The truth is that it happens even when we go on products and services. We always want to target those rich people first. The truth is, if you can take my advice, build your own people. Start with the people around your vicinity. Start with your neighbors. Start with this. The truth is that people will not essentially help you until they see the value that you bring. Do you understand? So don't look for the rich, because the truth is everyone that's gotten to a certain point, they're also protecting their own community. You're not going to come as let me give an instance. You see a fashion designer, a makeup artist, and a photographer, and they are collaborating together. Then you come out from nowhere and you want to join them to create a shoot and promote businesses. Do you know why they will say no to you? They don't know where you're coming from. They don't know how good you are with your services. They don't know your ethics. They don't know your foundation. So what you need to do is forget them, go back, look for people that are also growing like you are. People that want to get to where you are going to. It's going to take time. It's going to get stressful. It's going to take effort. But once you get there, those people you'll be looking forward to will start attracting your interest, and they will want to get there.
okay,
You understand?
Thank you very much.
But let's see before you.
Did you get it?
Okay.
Did you get it?
See, madam, I'll say something else to you, okay? What you're saying is that you want equity. You want people to invest in your business. Am I correct?
That's what you're saying.
Do you put these things on paper, or do you do verbal explaining of your business? Okay, now listen. I'll give you a very brief advice. If your business looks good and the outlook, profitability-wise, is good, anybody that sees it will listen to you. First of all, outside the business, something has to attract the person to you. So you must appear like you're a serious person, you must speak like a serious person, and you must act like a serious person. Don't depend on sentiment and emotions for people to invest in your business. Most rich people are busy people, and they are capitalists. So they assess you as you walk to them. They don't have all the time to listen to long story. So you must find a fast way to communicate or get their attention, okay?
Also, mind you that a lot of rich people owe, they don't pay. So build your community, okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. So this goes to you. Alright. A gender psychologist says Okay, the question goes like this. What are the gender role and gender equality in a relationship? In a gender equality, are we equal or not? And in gender role, do we have different role or same role?
There's nothing on planet Earth, no two things are equal, first of all. And then, a man and a woman, even looking at them, you can tell that they're not the same. Okay? So, if you find uniqueness for something, then you find the use for that thing. I'll tell you something about my own relationship with my wife. My wife has never paid school fees before. She works. My wife did not work for the first 7 years of my marriage, and she's a doctor. Because I appeal to her emotions, I appeal to her senses, I appeal to her reasons to understand that my own job at the time, I was a field engineer, a telecom engineer. I was traveling everywhere. Two of us cannot leave the home and leave the keys to the key of the house upstairs, which is my children. Because I took my time to talk to her and communicate to her, because at the time I had also earned her trust with the way I acted towards her and things around her. She listened to me and she took 7 years off her profession. And when I decided to change my kind of job, the first thing I did was personally get her a job myself. I did the whole networking and got her a job and toned down what I was doing so I'll have time to support her when she's on call at night. I used to leave Lagos, leave Port Harcourt, come back to Enugu just to make sure that there's somebody at home with the kids because my wife is on call. Do you understand what I mean? So sometimes you have to earn the trust. You have to earn and sustain the trust with a partner. So when you come back to what you're talking about, gender equality, all those semantics can only be applied with emotional intelligence. So you must know when to do what and how to do it. So if you look at it as a technical solution, you're going to fail.
Also see it as a partnership.
You got it right.
You understand that? You don't understand.
You people are enjoying this a little too much.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is my question. I start, sorry, to thank Mr. Okulora for the event he organized. It was through that event that I heard of this, and I'm very privileged to be here.
Thank you, Okulora.
For someone who finds it difficult to speak or associate with people, that is talking about building relationship. For someone who finds it difficult to speak, associate with people, how does such a person build a relationship? That is number one. And then when you notice that a relationship you're trying to build is taking a downside, say as a lady, and you are trying to build a relationship, not romantic relationship, but not someone with an opposite sex, and you notice that you're giving value, you're giving all your hand for that relationship to grow, but then the relationship is taking a downside in the sense that the opposite sex now is requiring something that you're not willing to give. You know what I mean?
I can say the first part.
Okay, she said she wants me to answer. Who do you want to answer?
Wait, is it the first part or the second part? Okay, let me take the first part because it has to do with making friends as an introvert. Then relationship guru can take the second part. Because I already know what you can do, but you don't want to do it. So let's leave that one. You block the person immediately. Okay, so the first one, as an introvert, right? Someone that find it difficult to relate and make friends. There is an exercise that you can do, to keep you everything. For you to get comfortable and get used to something, you need to put it into practice. Because you're leaving your comfort zone. It's something that makes you uncomfortable. So you need to do it as often as possible. So the first thing I'll say is, I'll use this space. You came to the Detruthpod podcast, and you know that you want to make friends, you want to network and meet other people. See the 5 steps I want you to do. You are seated on a seat, and the seat has column and rows, right? So I want you, when you go back to that seat, Say hello as if you're coming in for the first time to the person seated by your side, your left and your right. Say hello to them with a smile. You smile. Smile, listen. Good. That's the one you use. Say hello to them and tell them your name. So say, hello, my name is Naza, Jasmine. Okay? That's what I want you to say. And then the second step is to ask them what is their name. You know, in every relationship, this is what it takes to start. Most times we sit down beside people and our face is already saying, we don't want you here. Right? The second part is that, especially for girls, who will greet first? So I need you to do that. Then the third step you're going to do is move a little further to ask what do they do, or are they students and all that. Now what it means is that you're taking interest in who they are. You can do this any other places and all that, but I want you to do it today. The fourth part is take their contacts. Now, the last part is this, how you manage your contacts, and that's where it ends. I don't like WhatsApp, because once you take my number and you put me on WhatsApp, the relationship don't end like that. Find out where they like to be communicated, then follow up. So once they were, hey, going to take the number, hey, my name is Favor from the Truth Podcast. This is my number, and I want to follow up with you. They'll say, oh, thank you for being here. If it's Instagram or whatever, follow up. And that is how the first foundation of any relationship, friendship is made.
Please let me add before that. I have a lot of acquaintances. Now that stopped me from calling everybody friends. So I have a lot of acquaintances. Let me tell you my secrets, both men and women. I love to compliment people. If I see you, I will tell you, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I love your dress. I love your hair. You have brought that person's guard down. If the person is those kind of people that form, they will bring their guard down. If it is a man, don't over compliment. Don't say, oh, you smell nice. Or you look good. If you over compliment, they'll think you like them. Do you understand? That is it.
Talking about compliments, I love your shoe.
It's okay to compliment even a man, okay? But you must know where to stop.
Boundaries.
Okay? Now I'll tell you a little story. If you're out with your friend, another guy, okay? And then you go out to buy something or to ease yourself, and a guy that's probably on that same table goes behind and collects number from you and you give him. And you expect that guy to respect you. I don't know if you understand where I'm going to. So, the body language sometimes is more important than the act. So if you make yourself young, good to eat you. So as a woman, how you communicate with a man determines whether he's going to ask for that thing you're talking about or not. And when he does act, how you react and how you manage it also determines whether he's going to do it the second time or not. First of all, as a woman, the first thing you should learn, which is what I taught my daughter, is to be confident. That rule, I will say to every male here, is your responsibility as a father to make your daughters confident. Daughters who have their fathers in their life are very confident. Chidimma here will tell you, I asked her about her dad because of the level of her confidence. And I can tell you with my daughter as well. So, as a lady, the first thing you need is confidence and self-esteem. So you must learn how to look at yourself and pride yourself first. It's the value that you place on yourself, that's where people place you. Not when you see a man because he's driving a G-Wagon or a Mercedes-Benz, you start acting inferior. He gives you instructions and you adhere to them like he's your parent. So you must make him understand that this is your value. If you want that value, you have to treat it like it is what. Every woman is a child of life. That's my perception and must be respected. So every woman in here is a potential mother for those who are not already mothers. So if you respect your own mother, you should respect every woman. This is for all the guys. So if you say this is my mom, you respect her, then another woman you don't respect her. So every woman is a child of life. It takes me back to what we have been talking about, what the woman brings to the table. The most valuable thing I possess in my life, number one, is my mom. But she's late. My wife is the next. Then my daughter. Three of them all females.
And your sons.
My sons have their value. But we know the qualities that the woman has. We know the one that the man has. And they have different values they bring to the table. this guy is capable of defending himself as a man, you are limited to how much you can defend yourself. That's why and how you place priority on who you put first. Your mom, your wife needs more of your support than your son. And I tell you this is for free. It's just a matter of time you realize it. Once your son finds a wife, you've lost 80% of him. Well, your daughters will stay around. So, as a woman, as a girl, please, first of all, place value on yourself. That way, whoever you're going into a relationship with, place value on you.
Sweetie, sorry.
The last question you asked, you said you have a friend that's now talking about another thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very simple. You want or you don't want? You want or you don't? And you want an emotional relationship?
He doesn't want to.
You don't want an emotional relationship?
He just wants what he wants.
Baby,
You want what he wants, you know what he wants. Do you want what he wants? Simple,
babe, my love, you see what NO? You know what NO means? No. It's a full sentence. All you need to put is full stop. What it means is that you saying no is enough. If he passes that boundary, it's up to you to decide the next course of action. So you leave. It doesn't even have to be, okay?
it's not like us to be friends.
You always find a nice guy out there.
Okay.
That's the last person.
The last person here, very quickly, please.
I'll say thank you very much. The questions and answers here. The questions and answers here really tell us that changing lives of youth and people out there. So thank you very much, all.
You're welcome.
Ambassador Onyia, Mama, when she was talking here, she said that she talked about critics. She said critics are one of the people who make you aspire, make desire to acquire your desire. So you should thank God that you have them. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. And so when you are talking, you say something related to that. You say nobody is useless. That is to say, if students don't come to school, teachers will not be there to do anything. And I want to ask this question: if the difference, just for you to advise us, the difference between a relationship that is not yet in marriage and courtship and marriage in a relationship. And when there was a girl that was saying something here, there's what you said to her. I did not get her question exactly, but you said something to her. You said that if you are trying to rise and the people at top are not paying attention to you, probably they do not know where you're coming from. You should go back and strategize with the people that you're coming from, or you're coming up with, so that you can get what you want. And then when you're at the top, they will come back for you. So I want to ask, because I'm one of the people in that kind of class. As I am here, I have a social handle, Facebook, with over 99,000 followers. I have no violation, but I do not know how I can go about it to be monetized. And I've been trying to do that with people that which I was not able to do.
Okay. Hold on. No, it's valid, right? So do you know what I will give you, courtesy of the Truth podcast? I'll give you someone from Meta that will help you monetize your page. But please, this podcast, in fact, I'll be the one to make the call. Chidimma already knows the person. So you don't share it out in order. So your page will be monetized, but he will have to review your page and tell you some things you have to keep up to. It's Facebook, right? So yes, it's Meta.
And you
So
should be willing to share the thing. They do that, right?
no. I think he can do straight. Like I'm saying, courtesy of the Truth podcast, we can give you that as a package for coming here and make sure that you get your page monetized.
You asked something about relationship, difference between married marital relationship and non-marital. Are you asking about the roles of the parties or the difference between the two kind of relationships? Okay, first of all, let's start with marriage. Marriage, surprisingly, is not entirely a romantic relationship. Marriage is not a place where you go to do romance. There is more of work to be done than romance. I tell you what, in the olden days, our parents got married sometimes by force. They would bring a man or bring a girl and take to a man. The girl will cry the first few weeks that she doesn't want to marry the man, but the man will keep giving to this lady, taking care of her, protecting her, providing for her, which is how women are created. She's available for you to woo her, to earn her trust. You understand what I mean? So over time, this lady that was crying the day she went to this man's house, you fall in love with this man and get to the point where if the man dies, sometimes she dies along with him. But today, we see people in the train or in the bus or in an aircraft and they have nice human hair and they look beautiful and you exchange number and you call it love and you get married without checking background. You understand what I mean? Without no framework. Then 2 years into it, even with all the finances going well, you start seeing crisis everywhere. That buttresses the point that marriage is not solely a romantic relationship because you're in the business of growing a family, which is the smallest unit of society. So you're in community building when you go into marriage. So when you choose a partner, you must choose somebody who is capable of playing that role. It's a role. The role of a father is defined. When you're hiring a husband, the ladies, you're hiring a father for your children, so you don't have to be selfish. Don't just look for a guy that has 6 packs or that's driving a Benz. You need a father that can mentor your daughters. You need a father that can mentor your sons into useful and valuable humans that will be infused into society to grow a proper community for all of us to live in. Because no matter how well you are doing as a person, if the community is not right, you can't go out, you can't enjoy it, you'll be scared, you'll be feeling unsafe. So please, the framework of everything I have said today is the whole thing starts from the foundation, the choice of who you network with, the purpose for which you are networking. Are you looking for a husband that will pay your bills? You don't need a husband. You need a financial supporter. So if you need a husband, you must look for a man you can respect. That way you take pride and joy in cooking for him, in washing his clothes. Do you know in my house, if I remove my shirt now and keep it on my chair and go downstairs to do something, if I come back, my wife may have washed it. She looks out for me at every point in time. The same way if I walk into a shop, I know the things she likes. I'm looking for something to put a smile on her face. I can cook, but I rarely cook. So I say this to the men who don't want to cook. You don't want to be sitting in the kitchen, mixing stew and tomato, so your beers will not catch fire. You can buy the food. So if your wife is not available, go to Mr. Biggs, go to Ntachiosa, buy some food for your children.
And if
Fill in the gap.
you have.
I bet my children when they were small. I dress them up. I buy all the clothing, including my wife's underwears, and I'm proud about it. My wife has never bought any clothes since I married her. I make sure she doesn't. I told her, anything you want to buy, tell me. So that way you put your scent mark and you put your authority. Your wife will find joy in respecting you.
True.
Women submit to only those that agree to that.
What you just said, you just reminded me of my parents. Same with my dad and my mom. My brother will always say that my dad will pick his wife over all of us every time. So please, let's give a round of applause to our
Thank you very much,
Take a picture, please.
Mr. Chilaka, Njoku, and Jasmine, the CEO of Jasmine Events. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. A round of applause for them.